Hi, Darla. How are you?
Hi, Megan. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks so much for joining us today. For everyone watching, my name is Megan Ritter. I'm the Grants Manager at Charity Navigator, and I'm delighted to welcome Darla Silva, who is VP of Global Programs and Humanitarian Response at Unicef USA. Welcome,
Thanks.
Darla.
It's great. Thank you. It's great to be joining you.
So happy Giving Tuesday, everyone. Such an exciting and inspiring day. Just as a quick refresher, Giving Tuesday is a global day of giving following the theme of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we're so excited to have Darla and UNICEF on for today's call. Darla, many tuning in today are obviously familiar with UNICEF USA, but some may not be. Can you provide a brief overview of your organization for everyone?
Sure. So UNICEF USA helps to save and protect the world's most vulnerable children. We work with governments, civic leaders, celebrities, corporations, campus groups, churches, teachers, and people like you towards our vision of a better world for children everywhere. We have reach in more than 190 countries. We carry out life-saving programs in healthcare and immunizations, safe water and sanitation, nutrition, education, and more. So that's a start.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for that overview. You all are doing amazing work. And I know you are a Charity Navigator rated organization as well. And I know you've received 4 stars for the past few years. So congratulations on that. We're super excited for you all.
Thank you. We're so proud of that. And we're so delighted to be joining you today on Giving Tuesday, which is such a great way to start the holiday season, especially in a year like the one that we've had.
Exactly. You know, Giving Tuesday, it means a lot to everyone in the nonprofit sector. And I always love seeing how generous donors are. What does Giving Tuesday mean to UNICEF, and what can we expect from UNICEF for Giving Tuesday?
Yeah, so we have a number of things planned. You can check out our website at unicefusa.org. You can find ways to help through financial contributions, like hosting a Facebook fundraiser. We also have advocacy with policymakers to help put children first. And also you can learn more and educate yourself and others about the global needs of children.
That's wonderful. I definitely encourage everyone listening to go to UNICEF's website and check all of that out. Charity Navigator is excited for Giving Tuesday too. As most people know, we're the world's largest and most trusted charity evaluator, and we're actually doing these live streams throughout the day, speaking to other charities. We have a couple more later in the day, including Donors Choose and Black AIDS Institute. We've also spun up a dedicated resource center for donors, and that's linked on our homepage, charitynavigator.org, where donors can find organizations to support on such a special day. We're also a 501c3 nonprofit as well as, and we have a donor match for contributions directly to Charity Navigator today, and that's for up to $70,000. For anyone interested in supporting Charity Navigator on Giving Tuesday, you can go to charitynavigator.org/match. I would love to speak to you a little bit about how the pandemic has affected UNICEF USA and how maybe the organization is innovating in response to it.
Thanks, Megan. So together with Gavi, the Global Vaccine Alliance, UNICEF is part of a groundbreaking global collaboration to accelerate the development, the production, and most importantly, the equitable access to COVID tests, treatments, and the vaccine. Under the vaccine pillar, UNICEF will leverage its decades of experience to prepare countries and communities for the rapid, safe, and efficient delivery of the vaccine. We're doing this by purchasing and pre-positioning supplies like syringes and cold chain equipment and and other things that will be necessary to implement it when the vaccine's available. UNICEF will serve as the lead in the procurement and distribution of the vaccine in low-income and lower middle-income countries. And we're working with governments and partners to train health workers and building trust in vaccines by engaging communities and addressing misinformation.
That is fantastic. We're so glad that UNICEF is a part of that. And I know everyone listening and everyone in the world is excited by the news of a future vaccine. So excited to see what progresses there with UNICEF. So I know that this is a really fun day for everyone, and I wanted to actually ask you about the organizations that you might be personally planning to support today for Giving Tuesday or during the giving season in general.
Thanks, Megan. So, of course, not only do I work at UNICEF, I'm also proud to be a small donor to UNICEF. So that also, but also in this time when the need for racial and social justice is so important, I also support the NAACP. And then also education, which is so highly valued to me, and it's really changed my life. I'm also proud to support my law school, the University of New Mexico. So go Lobos. How about you, Megan?
Go Lobos, indeed. Yeah, I feel like this giving season has changed a little bit for me. Usually I support nonprofits working to protect the environment, like EWG and World Wildlife Fund, to name a few. But this year, I'm also going to be using Charity Navigator to find charities to help provide relief for COVID. So I'm particularly interested in supporting frontline workers, especially because my partner works in healthcare. And so I know the toll that it can take on those special people in our lives. So changing my giving a little bit this year, but in response to really the need that's out there.
That sounds great, Megan, and that's so important because the frontline workers are really helping to protect all of us, and whether it's in healthcare, in social workers, it's really incredible. And I think that's one thing about COVID is that it has affected the world everywhere, and it's something that everyone is having to navigate and deal with. And it's also encouraging, in a year like this, to see people coming together to take care of each other.
Absolutely. I've been blown away by people's generosity and the stories you see about people, neighbors helping neighbors. It's just an incredible story. And like you said, we're all in this together. And so really trying to support each other and those on the front lines is definitely a goal for me. And I know a lot of folks will resonate with that. 2020 has been a really complicated year. How are your donors responding and helping to meet those emerging needs?
So our donor partners have been incredibly generous and responsive. Their support has enabled us to increase our humanitarian funding to UNICEF by 12% in 2020, and wow, when compared to 2019, and the year's not even over yet. So this, we think, is a remarkable achievement during such a challenging time. And I just want to point out, it wasn't just for COVID. We've also seen our donor support for UNICEF work in Syria increase in 2020 in comparison to 2019.
That's amazing. Like I've said multiple times now, I've just been blown away by the generosity. We've also seen an increase of 25% in Charity Navigator's traffic. So it's really just playing into that idea that people really want to help, they want to give, and they're looking for ways to support each other. We've also seen an enormous increase, about 115% increase in donations through our giving basket year over year within the same time frame. So it's just been an incredible time to be living, and really an historic time to be living through this pandemic.
And I think that's an important, Charity Navigator is such a great resource for people to be able to know that you can go and you can check and you can trust in the ratings. And that's, in this time, it's a very important. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. We've been incredibly busy over these last few months as well. We increased the number of charities that have a rating to 160,000 from our usual 9,000. So that was a huge increase, and we launched the Impact and Results Beacon in October, which now evaluates charities on their impact. And you know, we've just donations to Charity Navigator have illuminated that you know, these things really do matter to donors. Speaking of impact, I feel like now more than ever, donors are focusing on programmatic impact because they want to make sure that their dollars are going as far as possible. How does UNICEF view impact?
So results and impact for children are crucial. So our vast network of skilled and committed staff means that we can take successful approaches from one place in the world and adapt them to meet challenges elsewhere, helping to drive results for children and young people at a global scale. UNICEF has 5 strategic goal areas. First, every child survives. Second, every child learns. Third, every child is protected from violence and exploitation. Fourth, every child lives in a safe and clean environment. And finally, every child has an equitable chance in life. So we show our impact in the number of children reached in these goal areas with interventions through vaccinations, learning materials, protection from harmful practices like child marriage, providing access to safe water and sanitation, and cash transfers to help children and their families lift themselves out of poverty.
Wow, incredible impact results. And can donors go to your website and see all of that impact?
There's a lot of information on our website about our work and our impact. And there's also, you can find stories too, like human interest stories, to really put a face on so much of the work. And so it's not just a number, and that's so important. The other thing I just want to mention about that is, you know, UNICEF is one of the world's largest buyers of life-saving supplies, such as vaccines and mosquito nets and ready-to-use therapeutic food. And it's unique. We're able to negotiate at lower prices by buying big and being transparent. It enables us to shape markets, cut costs, and increase efficiencies. And most importantly, to save more lives.
So important. It really is, all that work that you're doing. And I love seeing stories from your constituents that you're serving, because I think it really, you know, makes sense to donors. As someone who donates to charity, I like to see that, because one person's life is changed differently than another person's life because of your program. So I'd like to hear, you know, how they've achieved in life because, you know, they were maybe given a mosquito net to reduce malaria or something like that. It's so important to me. You know, we talked about how you communicate your impact to donors. We actually recently launched our first ever impact ratings in September. And so, you know, this is another way for charities to articulate their impact through Charity Navigator. We're telling charity stories about their programs now for the first time through our evaluations. And we're saying impact really matters. So within our readings, we're actually weighting impact 60% out of 100 because we think it's so important for charities to be tracking their impact and to be able to articulate it to their donors and show how impactful they are being to their constituents.
That's great. And I think now in this time when people are, you know, not able to travel and, you know, we're much more connected virtually, like in meetings like this one, it's all that more important to be able to share those those photos or those video stories and all of that information to make it, you know, really real and connect us all.
Absolutely. I would love to give people a chance to get involved with UNICEF. Can you speak to how folks can get involved and help with these incredible programs they have?
Sure, thanks for that. So first of all, there's a lot of information again on our website at unicefusa.org. And UNICEF works to engage and empower young people to have a voice in the decisions that affect their lives and support their peers. And UNICEF USA invites all Americans to join us. Whether it's by giving time or money through education, awareness raising, or advocacy, everyone has something to contribute to make this world a better place for children. In the United States, UNICEF USA has a long history of instilling global citizenship in students. We do this through programs like the Trick or Treat program or through our UNICEF Kid Power.
I remember the Trick or Treat program as a kid, and that was really my first foray into charitable giving, when you would have your little box and ask for coins from your neighborhood or your family members. And that really sparked a lot of joy for me, even as a young child.
Yes, you don't know how many times I hear about that people's first entry point to UNICEF was through Trick or Treat in the orange boxes, and it's so important. And I did it as a kid, and now as a mom, I've also spoken at my son's school, and he's done it as well.
Wow, it's truly incredible. It's multi-generational, and it's just great to get kids involved in philanthropy at such a young age, and really understanding that any little bit counts.
Absolutely. It's an important lesson for all of us at any age.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Folks can get involved with Charity Navigator by going to our site and using our free tools and resources to guide their giving and make sure it's informed and impactful as possible. That's all the time that we have today. So I just want to thank you so much to everyone who tuned in, and thanks obviously to Darla from UNICEF for taking the time to speak with me. I encourage everyone to visit both UNICEF and Charity Navigator's websites today for even more information about our programs and the information we spoke about today.
Thanks, Megan, and happy Giving Tuesday to you and to everyone. And congratulations again for all the great work that Charity Navigator does, keeping us accountable.
Well.
Thank
you. Happy Giving Tuesday. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.